All right, so the first muscle that we're going to identify is the rhomboid minor. It's deep to the trapezius. It starts at the C7, T1 vertebrae and comes down here to the medial border, the superior part of the medial border of the scapula, which is right here. So we'll come from here to there. And that's C7, T1's here. And draw that right there. So this is rhomboid minor. Then we'll grab another marker and mark rhomboid major. We'll use blue for rhomboid major, and it goes from T2 to T5. So we have T2 here all the way down to T5, and then comes all the way to the inferior angle of the scapula, runs right along the medial border again. So we have here to inferior angle, and this is the rhomboid major, which is again underneath the trapezius. It's deep to the trapezius. All right. We have the levator scapula, and the levator scapula runs from the posterior tubercles of the transverse processes of C3 and C4 and connects to the medial border of the scapula also, from the superior angle to the root of the spinous process. So root of the spine, there's the spinous process. So right there's the root. Superior angle is up here. Really hard to feel on somebody with such huge traps. But right around there. And there. And then it comes up and attaches to the posterior tubercles of C3 and C4, and also of the transverse processes, and then also to C1 and 2. So we have C1 and 2 up here, and we actually won't draw in Brandon's hair, but we'll just kind of start it back down here. And it comes around, it attaches here, and then all the way down to here, comes up here, and connects to 1, 2, 3, 4, up to there. Connects to the transverse processes and all those, and runs down this way. It's the levator scapula. Could you elevate your scapula, please? Lifts that right there. Very good. Thank you very much. Attaches up at the occiput, comes all the way down, attaches again at the acromion process up here, then comes along the spinous process and drops down all the way to T12. So we'll draw our little lines here. Again, we won't draw in his hair, but you can imagine. Goes to the acromions right there. Follows the spinous process all the way down to T12. Yep. Trap is a surface muscle. It covers up the rhomboids and all that other jazz. And so we'll just draw it there. Attaches to the spinous process. Serratus anterior is going to originate on the ribs, and it starts on the 9th ribs. So if I can find his ribs here and go up a couple. It's the 11th rib, and we'll go up 2. So the serratus anterior attaches on the ribs. You can actually kind of see him right here. A little serratus action. Anyway, it attaches here on the ribs and then goes back to the scapula, but on the anterior surface of the scapula, which we can't see very well. So we're just going to pretend that it goes under the scapula right here. Dot, 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 dot. And attaches on the medial border and follows the ribs up all the way up under here. And these are our serratus anterior. And if you could turn just a little bit this way to face your back to the camera. So these come up underneath the lats, underneath the scapula, and come all the way under the scapula and attach to the medial border of the scapula, which is right here, but on the anterior side. Then the last one, we'll turn Brandon around to face the camera. We're going to do the pec minor. This is rib 2, and this will be 3. So the pec minor starts at rib 3 and attaches to the coracoid process, which would be right there. There's the coracoid and ribs 3 through 5, so we're going to do, this is rib number 3 right here, coracoid process, and it comes up this way, then follows that rib, the next one, and the next one. And the pec minor is deep to the pec major, this big one being the pec major. So it's under the pec major, pec minor, attaches to ribs 3 through 5, and the coracoid process. And that ends the anatomy lesson for today. Thank you, Brandon. There is pec minor. And here we have rhomboid minor, rhomboid major, levator scapula, and the trapezius starts up here at the occiput, comes to the acromion, down the spinous process of the scapula, all the way down to T12, and up the other side as well. Very large muscle. Then we have the serratus anterior, which attaches to the ribs here and comes up underneath the scapula and attaches to the medial border of the scapula. And that's it.